Test one, one, two. Test one, one, two. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to East Gymnasium on the campus of Fort Lee High School. The setting for this matchup here in the Big North Conference featuring the Mahwah Thunderbirds, 2-0 on the season, taking on the Fort Lee Bridgemen, 0-2 to begin this brand new season. Hello, everyone, and welcome here. I'm Dan Long, so glad that you could join us here for Fort Lee girls basketball action for the first time in this brand new season. I'm joined alongside by our producer, Dimitri Nanis, and our camera operator, Renee Matisich, and we're so glad that you could join us here today. Fort Lee's going to be in their home black uniforms. This is their home opener of the year, taking on Mahwah in their white and Carolina blue. And the opening tip is won by Mahwah. Karen Roach is the head coach for Mahwah, while Kelly Lane in her second season in charge of the Bridgemen. Quick pass underneath. That shot just missed inside by Olivia Centrelli. Goes out of bounds and will be possession going back over now to Fort Lee. Bridgemen coming in off a 65-34 loss against Westwood, looking for their first win of the season, while Mahwah comes in off a 66-34 victory against Dumont. These two sides met a season ago on December 20th in Mahwah, and Fort Lee came away with a lopsided victory, 42-16. And a turnover there to start things off in the opening offensive possession for Fort Lee as the Bridgemen travel. In last year's game, the Bridgemen were led by Janelle Lewis's 26 points and 7 steal performance. She has graduated, so it's a young nucleus trying to find themselves in the early goings. 3 in the corner, no good. Comes out to space, Centrelli with the offensive rebound. Another corner jump shot for Mahwah, this time left short. And Ileana James emerges with the loose ball rebound. Outlets it now to Olivia Hausman. James getting it down the floor. Here's an open 3. No good that time. Jumping, popping, and shooting, no good. Rebound underneath. Martinez emerges with the loose ball rebound. Has to get dirty on the floor, though, and then a timeout is going to be granted to Fort Lee as Coach Kelly Lane trying to save possession before she saw an upcoming turnover presenting itself here inside East Gymnasium. And at this juncture, we'd like to thank our proud sponsors of these Fort Lee broadcasts, brought to you by the Fort Lee Bridgemen Athletic Department, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, located here in Fort Lee, Sedona Tap House in nearby Cliffside Park, as well as the sponsors, courtesy of the finest construction home improvement specialists and Fort Lee SC. Both teams still looking for their first points of the afternoon. Mahwah went 14-14 a season ago, and Fort Lee had their finest season in program history, going 21-7. Here's James. Coming off a big performance in the loss against Westwood, she went for 19 points, and there's another turnover. Moving a little too fast was Jackie Martinez. The sophomore getting called for her second traveling violation here in the first quarter. 90 seconds in, still scoreless between the Thunderbirds and the Bridgemen. Ava Comer. Comer feeding down low. Turnaround shot inside by La Vergetta. Marissa La Vergetta averaging 18.5 points per game through the first 2 contests for Mahwah. She's one of those focal points of this offense. And Martinez also a little out of control. There's the outlet down the other way. That leads to the uncontested layup for Harper Cone. And we have our first points of the day 2 minutes into the first quarter. Full court pressure being administered now by Mahwah. So Harper Cone, the sophomore, who averages 11.5 points per game, gets the first points courtesy of a turnover and a layup. Here's another turnover, forced this time by La Vergetta. Getting it the other way, contorted shot there by Cone. No good, but an offensive rebound for Mahwah. Comer will reverse it over to the near side, Centrelli. Back to Comer. Patient offense. Long distance offering, that time clanking by Tremblay off to the far side. But the running floater on another offensive rebound is good this time, and Harper Cone, now with both of the first two baskets of the day for Mahwah, they lead 4-0. Tipping from behind and forcing the steal was Taylor Tremblay. Tremblay with the pressure that time, and now there's going to be a foul whistled. First foul of the game for either team. That will be charged against Jackie Martinez, her first, team's first. Mahwah working it into the corner to Comer. Comer at 12 points and a pair of threes against Dumont in their last win. Cone jumps again. The floater this time does not fall as Hausman comes in and wrestles away the rebound. There's the constant pressure as Hausman avoids the double team. Now takes it up the floor herself, but it dribbles it away from herself. That leads to the breakout, a steal, and Cone with all 6 points for Mahwah here in the first quarter. Turnovers leading to easy layups in transition. Fort Lee has just not been able to possess the ball at all on offense, and an offensive foul whistled against Roxanne Perez. Perez was just trying to bulldoze her way right to the rim after they finally got it past the opposing foul line. Good positional defense there by Mahwah to draw the charge. Second team foul against Fort Lee here in the first quarter. Comer outletting it to Centrelli. Trying to find a cutter inside. Good deflection there on the active hands in the passing lane for Fort Lee. Loose ball tie up from behind. Possession arrow will favor the Bridgemen. Just coming into the game to make her presence felt was Eleanor Yu, number 11. The freshman who had the deflection for the turnover. Past the midway point of the first quarter. 6-0 lead for the visitors. Fort Lee has not attempted a shot in quite some time. They've just been loosey-goosey and turning it over at a high rate. Comer denied entry at the last moment. There's a block at the rim. Good rejection that time by James. Now a shot opportunity for Fort Lee. Raises off the front of the rim. Perez with the offensive rebound and putback attempt, no good. Rebounded inside by La Vergetta. La Vergetta trying to tuck it down, passing, long three. That time, nothing but net for Ava Comer. First three of the game for either team. And it's a 9-0 start to this game for Mahwah. Fort Lee getting it down the floor. Perez in tough quarters. Again, missing, trying to bank that one off the backboard and in. Just curled off the front of the rim. Across the middle. Good penetration there. Centrelli getting it down low. Good job of getting that clean block on Tremblay's shot. Here's Comer bouncing it into the corner. La Vergetta finding her teammate inside. There's a foul whistled underneath the rim. Looks to be in the act of shooting. And that'll send Mahwah to the foul line for repair. That is the second foul against Roxanne Perez. So she'll have to take a seat. And that'll send Olivia Centrelli to the line, shooting two. Centrelli switches home the first made foul shot of the game. Centrelli had 3 points, 2 assists, and 2 steals in the win against Dumont, last time out for Mahwah. Second foul shot, no good. Almost rolled off the top lip of the backboard, but it was not a violation, so the offensive rebound comes out to Mahwah. Shot also no good this time. Rebound, swatting at it from behind was Mahwah, and now a foul is going to be called against the Thunderbirds. First foul of the game against the visitors, as that foul will go against Harper Cone, her first. Fort Lee still looking to get on the board here before the end of the quarter. Hausman, turnaround shot. Hits the front of the rim, no good. Rebound underneath by Centrelli. Centrelli with her head up all the way, trying to outlet it down the floor. Nice duck and under move. Fouled on her way to the hoop. And that'll send Mahwah back to the foul line to shoot two. That'll send Ava Comer, number 24, to the line, shooting two. Comer with 3 points so far in this first quarter, averaging 10.5 points per game to begin this season. Comer missing on the first foul shot attempt. Comer last year against Fort Lee, 3 points, 3 rebounds. She goes 1 of 2 at the line to give her 4 points. $11-0, the lead for Mahwah, and a timeout's going to be taken on the floor with 1:54 left to go in the first quarter. Fort Lee trailing Mahwah by a score of 11-0 here on YouTube. Fort Lee opened up their season on the road, back-to-back games, losing at Tenafly and then losing at Westwood. Getting their first chance to play here inside East Gymnasium. Having the struggles to score early on in this game, 1:54 left to go in the first quarter. 11-0 lead in favor of Mahwah. Fort Lee breaking the pressure this time, but then getting called for the double dribble. On the far side was Olivia Kim, number 22. So this is a young, very young Fort Lee side that's still trying to find their legs, trying to find a leader on this team. They've been struggling to just bring the ball up in possession and get shot opportunities. The defense has been there, though. Fort Lee has been very good at producing some turnovers and block shots of their own. It's just a struggle right now on this end of the floor. Another turnover leads to a breakout there for Cone, and Cone has feasted in the open floor. Harper Cone has already 8 points, many of which just on layups. Hausman stood up, jump ball, and possession will go back over to Mahwah as the Thunderbirds now lead 13-0 with 1:06 left to go in the first quarter of play. Worked around into the corner. La Fergetta is yet to score. Skip pass, wide open. Cone for 3. Harper Cone with 11 points in this first quarter alone. James open for the high arcer 3. Off the back rim this time. Cone with a rebound. Coming up on 35 seconds left to go in the quarter. Cone's pass was deflected, but right back to her. Over to Centrelli to the far side. Mahwah taking a little air out of the ball right now, skipping the ball around. Good ball movement. Finding a wide open corner 3, no good. Trying to box out was Hausman. She collects the rebound underneath for Fort Lee. Richmond looking to push it. Get it to Kim. Back to Hausman. Hausman cutting inside. Hausman got stripped of it before she can go up. There's the jumper just to beat the buzzer, no good. And Mahwah will hold Fort Lee scoreless in the first 8 minutes of play. And they'll take a 16-point lead with them into the start of quarter number 2. Stick around as we'll be right back here as you're watching Fort Lee girls basketball on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. We thank again all of our proud sponsors for these broadcasts. Mahwah with an impressive start to this game on the road, already leading by double digits after 8 minutes of play. Fort Lee won in a lopsided fashion last year, 42-16 against Mahwah. That happened to be the least amount of points scored in a single game all season by the Thunderbirds. They're trying to turn about the result this year, clamping down on Fort Lee's offense with their defense. Fort Lee went 21-7 overall last season. They won the Big North American Division. Ridgefield Park finishing just behind them. Another turnover. Ventrelli trying to feed her teammate in the open floor. There's Marissa LaVerghetta with her first 2 points of the afternoon. LaVerghetta, 22 points against Dumont. She had 15 points in the opener against Cliffside Park. Hausman missing, fouls her own miss. Almost got it to fall, but still, Fort Lee in search of those elusive first points of the game. Centrelli with the extra pass into the corner to Cohn. As Mahwah works it around the perimeter. Skip pass, Cohn. Unselfishly trying to play it back to a teammate. At a shooting lane, and now there's a foul whistled with a reach-in attempt against the Bridgemen. Foul is going to go against Olivia Hausman, her first. Team's first. Just underway, the start of the second quarter. All Mahwah so far in this game. Centrelli's 3 was off the mark, but it's offensive rebounded by Tremblay. And Mahwah will turn it over out of bounds. Hausman has had the best of the opportunities so far in this end of the floor, just has been unlucky. We'll see if they'll try to get it to her. Olivia Hausman averaged just under 5 points a game last season off the bench. She gets hounded and pushed out of bounds on the floor for a foul. Martinez getting it back over to Hausman. Haley So is into the game, number 1. Here's Hausman, takes the shot and gets it to fall. First points of the afternoon for Fort Lee and Olivia Hausman. And that one is knocked in for a 3. Once again, it's the dangerous Harper Cohn. Cohn with 14 points, a couple of threes in this first half. And Fort Lee is turning it over at a very large clip so far in this game. Thunderbirds inbound it. Cohn straight away, no one stopping her, takes another 3, why not? She's been feeling it here in the first half. 14 points for Harper Cohn. She had 14 points in the last game against Dumont, averaging 11.5 points per game, already with 14 points and an eternity left to go. Martinez goes right down the middle of the lane and gets the layup to fall. Nice take there by Jackie Martinez, the sophomore, who's averaging 8 points per game in the beginning of this season for Fort Lee. Fort Lee trying to defend out of the zone right now. Maneuvering around was Julia Graceffo, number 12, who's coming to the game for Mahwah. Cohn, awkward kind of shot and up and under. Perez with a rebound. Martinez getting it to So. So dribbling it back out. Tremblay with the defense. Good skip pass down the lane for Martinez. Back-to-back buckets for her. And after being shut out in the first 8 minutes, Fort Lee up to 6 points here in the second quarter. Cohn, skip pass. And Fort Lee has dropped into a zone defense, trying to limit those opportunities inside for Mahwah. Cohn just kept her pivot foot alive. Again, another skip pass over the head of the defense. Centrelli. Off the back rim, no good. Perez with another rebound, trying to outlet it to her teammate, but it ricocheted off of her. Leads to another opportunity for Mahwah. They chuck from three, no good. That'll carry him its way out of bounds. And will be possession coming back over to Fort Lee with 4:31 left to go in the second quarter. Martinez has scored 4 in a row for Fort Lee after Hausman opened up the scoring. Kim getting back over to So, dumping it down low, and Kim just could not hold on to it. Lost that height advantage by bringing the ball back down low, and it was squandered. Mia Lichtenheim, number 20, into the game for the first time for Mahwah. She's the one with the ball, skipping that pass. Extra ball movement leads to that shot opportunity inside. A hack foul for Fort Lee. That'll send Ava Comer back to the foul line so far in the game. Second foul of the game against Jackie Martinez. And Comer sinks the first foul shot. She's got 5 in the game. Comer nets a pair. She's 3 of 4 at the line and 6 points in the game. Initial steal produced by Mahwah, but Fort Lee steals it right back. A foul against Lichtenheim of Mahwah, her first, team second of the quarter. Fort Lee loses possession yet again. Mahwah out and running. They missed the layup, though. Strong arm rebound inside by Ileana James. By number 22, Olivia Kim. Here's Hausman. Here's James now. Fake the 3. Drove on the baseline, drew the contact in the act of shooting, and that'll send the sophomore forward to the foul line, shooting 2 with her chance at her first points of the afternoon. James missing on the first. Rasefo was the one called for the foul. James 19 points against Westwood in the last game. Iron Unkind there, rolled in and out. Still scoreless is James. Now trying to do her dirty work on defense. That pass is intercepted right underneath the hoop. Fort Lee in the open floor. Hausman seeing the double team coming to her. Trying to skip the pass to the far side, but So's pass is deflected away. Mahwah, beginning this season, has been so good defensively. So many steals leading to their offense. High arcing layup attempt inside by Comer is no good. There's James, split the defense, but could not finish inside the lane. Leads to the opportunity now the other way for Mahwah. Mahwah scored 16 points in the first quarter. Being held right now to 7 here in the second quarter. Only outscoring Fort Lee 7-6. Here's Comer in the corner. Feed down low. Laverghetta using that size, but she'll just play it outside. Set up the offense. Comer from well behind the line. She swishes home her second 3 of the game. Ava Comer up to 9 points in this game. And another steal leads to another easy 2 for Mahwah. Lichtenheim getting the 2 points the easy way. Another steal, this time Laverghetta. This is something she is so adept at. Coast to coast for the 2. And just like that, in one fell swoop, we've seen 7 quick points put on the board by Mahwah. Lavergetta in the last game, 22 points, 11 steals, and 4 assists. Here's another steal for number 10. Comer was trying to get to it. Ball is loose on the floor. Tie-up ensues. Possession arrow will keep the possession here on offense with Mahwah. Thunderbirds on top 30-6 with 64 seconds left to go in the first half. Long range, high arcing three, doesn't draw iron. Rebounded by Hausman in the corner. Olivia Hausman with 2 points here in the half. Inside, Kim, turnaround shot, missed it. Fouled her own miss, tried to put it up and in. Could not get the second one to fall as well. Centrelli with a rebound. Centrelli will outlet it to Cone on the far side. Cone is the leading scorer in this game with 14. Most of which came in the first quarter alone. Comer's had a big second quarter. She's up to 9 points in the game. Mahwah looking like they're going to hold for one final shot of the half. Cone getting it up top to Comer. Comer sets and fires, no good. No box out underneath. Turnaround shot, no good by the Thunderbirds. Rebounded by Fort Lee, and that will end the first half. And Mahwah, a dominant performance in that first half of play. They'll take the lead into halftime, as we'll be back for the start of the third quarter as you're watching all the action here on YouTube. Welcome back, everybody, for the start of the second half. Fort Lee in the home black. Defending in the road white is Mahwah. And the second half starts off with a steal produced by Centrelli and Mahwah. They quickly get it back into the offensive end. That time the three was off the mark by Cone. Cone had a incredible first half, 14 points for number 11 in white. Hausman crosses midcourt stripe, locked away. Kim trying to get to it, but can't range down low. Cone to her teammate Tremblay in the open floor, and the turnover leads to 2 points. Taylor Tremblay, first 2 points of the afternoon after Cone forced the steal. Feeding inside, Kim got it blocked away though. There's Cone on the near side. Cone sets and fires from deep and knocks down the triple. Her third three of the game. She's got a game-high 17 now. Mahwah took out Cliffside Park 48-7 in their season opener. Hausman from deep, no good. Off the back iron. Tipped around inside, trying to chase down after it. Good hustle play, but Mahwah still able to come out of the pack with it. Martinez trying to force a little pressure of her own. Comer. Over to Cone. Going up top to Centrelli. Down low. Give and go. Nice passing. And the interior presence there of Marissa Laverghetta. Laverghetta up to 6 points in the game. Martinez. Hausman takes the shot. Goes out of bounds. Last touch, it looks like off of Mahwah. So possession will stay with the Bridgemen. Hausman will operate as the inbounder. Good feed inside. Perez, though, missed. Good defense inside by Mahwah, but the up and under and the and one. Roxanne Perez, the senior forward, with the first 2 points of the afternoon, and has a chance at the traditional three-point play with the foul shot upcoming. Perez came in off the bench last season for the Bridgemen. Starting center this season for Fort Lee. Perez will miss on that foul shot. Lane violation against Mahwah. I don't know where that violation was. The only one who moved was Hausman, but it benefits Roxanne Perez. On that second opportunity, knocks down the foul shot and makes it a three-point play there. Perez with 3 points. Fort Lee now trying to do a little dirty work here on defense. Mahwah averaging 57 points per game through their first 2 contests of the year. This looks like it's going to be a very talented side. They were going through the growing pains early last season. They have developed a nice rapport and chemistry with one another this year. A shot from deep, no good. Tipped around into the waiting hands of Hausman. Olivia getting it over to Martinez. Martinez, dribble drive, kick out, corner 3. No good. Martinez with the offensive rebound and the putback. Jackie Martinez with 6 points to lead the offense for Fort Lee. 37-11 now the score. Past the midway point of the third quarter. Stolen away by Ileana James. James trying to get it to her teammate for the layup, and that's a good transition opportunity. Fort Lee building on a couple of offensive possessions here. Eleanor Yu, the freshman, with her first points here at home. Comer weaving through the traffic. Here's Cone, setting and firing, no good. Perez captures the rebound. Cone extending the pressure on Hausman. And that's going to be a traveling call against Hausman and Fort Lee. As you can see here, Fort Lee has struggled to have a point guard trying to bring it up. It's kind of been point guard by committee so far in this game. and that has led to a lot of different turnovers after Fort Lee has lost possession here at home, with Mahwah leading. And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors of these Fort Lee Bridgman athletic broadcasts, the law offices of Deborah L. Pico, LLC, Sedona Tap House, the Finest Construction, and Fort Lee SC. Last season, Mahwah only scored 16 total points in their loss against the Bridgman. Kind of flipped the script entirely this year. Fort Lee with only 13 points, but they've been building after being shut out in the first quarter. Scored 6 points in the second quarter. 7 points so far here in quarter number 3. Trying to dump it down low to Emma Jordan, who's coming to the game, the sophomore. Playing in the post. Fort Lee's defense has been solid. It's just been obviously a struggle offensively for the Bridgmen here today. Feed again inside, and weaving through off the inbound was Bella Moffitt. Moffitt's first 2 points of the afternoon. Good inbound pass there by Olivia Centrelli. Trying to feed inside to Kim, and that gets knocked away. Pass down the floor as Mahwah trying to attack in transition. Feed inside, that time deflected off the fingertips of Moffitt, out of bounds. That'll be a turnover, and possession going back over to the Bridgmen. Approaching the final 2 minutes of the third quarter, Dan Long, Renee Matisich, and Dimitri Nanis. Thank you for joining us and supporting these student athletes from both schools on our Fort Lee Athletics broadcast. 3 off the mark, rebounded underneath by Jordan. Three-point line extended, now getting to Tremblay. Centrelli kind of shifted as she shot it. Didn't have a strong base. There's an air ball and a tie-up, and possession error will keep it here for Mahwah, with 90 seconds left in the third quarter. Caitlin Park comes into the game for the first time, number 2. Senior guard. Centrelli quickly getting it over to the near side. Martinez tracks down the rebound. Martinez, the leading scorer for Fort Lee, with 6 of her team's 13. Feed inside, but the layup no good. Dropping it, foul line extended. Mahwah playing a couple of the reserves now for the first time in this game. Tremblay, still one of the starters, out on the floor. Curling shot, no good. Tie up inside. Offensive rebound by Jordan. 35 seconds and counting left to go in the third. Jordan inside, a little contact, no call. Rebounded underneath by Park. Big smile on her face after she secures her first rebound of the afternoon. Martinez just trying to weave her way through the defense. It's been a well-played quarter here for both teams. Only 1 combined foul between both sides. Clock continues to run here, despite the ball going out of bounds. Now it's tipped out of bounds again, and that will do it for the quarter. Third quarter in the books, and it's still all Mahwah here on the road as the Thunderbirds lead 39-13 as you're watching Fort Lee girls basketball here on YouTube. Welcome back at the start of the fourth quarter here from East Gymnasium. Home opener for the Fort Lee girls basketball team. Dan Long, Dimitri Nanis, Renee Matisic. Thanks for joining us on our Fort Lee Athletic YouTube channel. High arcing three finds pay dirt as that is knocked in by Eleanor Yu. First three made in this game by Fort Lee. Yu, the freshman, promising start for her. 5 points in her home debut. As that's a curling shot inside by Bella Moffitt. As Moffitt with 4 points off the Thunderbird bench. Fort Lee averaging 30 points a game through the first 2 games of the season. Another 3, this time from straight away, no good. Pinballs down low to Perez, and Perez rushed it a little bit on that left side. As she was trying to add to her total, she's got 3 points down low. Little high-low action going on here for Mahwah. Inside again, the height advantage for Jordan. They get it to Jordan inside, turnaround shot, no good. Perez with another rebound. Too tough of a pass for Perez to handle, and that trickles out in space to the far side to Moffitt. Dumped down low, and a conversion inside. By Marissa Laverghetta. 8 points for the senior. So a couple of reserves in and also a starter. And that time, a long-range 3 is knocked down by Ileana James. James with her first 3 points of the afternoon. She knocked down 3 threes in the last game against Westwood. James with a poke from behind as well, forcing the turnover. Here comes Hausman down the floor. Fort Lee has knocked down a pair of threes in this fourth quarter, looking to make it 3 threes, but that hit the rim twice and caromed out for Caitlin Park. Open just inside the 3-point arc. Moffitt no good. Rebounded by Yu. Going to be growing pains this season for this young Fort Lee side, but you can see the potential in some of these players getting their first real varsity action ever in their careers. James tried a cross-court pass that was anticipated and intercepted. Pacheco was getting it to Moffitt. Moffitt with the running shot, no good. Hausman ranging down low, loose ball tie-up, and the possession arrow will favor Mahwah and keep possession here with 4:53 left to go in the fourth quarter. Originally, I think the referee says it as well. Possession arrow had originally favored Mahwah, but then kind of Mahwah gave up the possession, and Fort Lee will gladly take it. I believe the mercy rule also in effect as a running clock is going on here in the fourth quarter. Here's James, got her first points of the game, leaving it behind for her teammate. That time Haley So shot no good. Outlet the other way as Mahwah just pulls it out. Been very impressed with Mahwah's unselfish ability, finding a lot of teammates, good ball movement, finding the open shooters. James with another rebound underneath the rim for Fort Lee. Past the midway point of the fourth quarter. James will set and fire from that near side, back rim it. Rebounded underneath by Tanisha Kapoor. Kapoor, a sophomore, getting her first minutes of this varsity contest. James got her hand in the passing lane. Haley So in the open floor goes for the layup, contested on the near side. Deflected last touch out of bounds off of Mahwah. Fort Lee will have the inbounds as we're approaching 3:15 and counting left to go in regulation. Corner jumper with a foot on the line off the back rim. Lichtenheim getting it back up top. Dumped down low, unselfish look, finds a wide open Emma Jordan, and Jordan gets her first 2 points of the game. So finding Hausman. Hausman on the baseline, tries to get that pass up top back to her teammate. Olivia Hausman at 6 points on a pair of made threes against Tenafly in the season opener. Martinez. Hughes pass, deflected right back to her, takes the running shot, no good. Rebounded underneath by Kapoor. Stolen away. Fort Lee with a chance here to attack in transition, and they do. Eleanor Yu, the leading scorer in this game now for the Bridgmen. 7 points for the freshman. And a stoppage here so that it could have some substitutions being made for both sides, and getting a lot of the other reserves a chance to get on the floor right now is head coach Kelly Lane. So Mahwah on their way to a 3-0 start to the season. Fort Lee will have to wait at least another game to see if they can get in the win column. They'll have a tough game awaiting them against Riverdale on December 21st. The next time out, Mahwah will continue to take on opponents from the American Division. They'll take on Ridgefield Park. Rebounded by Martinez. Martinez trying to go coast to coast, and she'll be fouled in the act of shooting. And that'll send the sophomore for Fort Lee to the foul line to shoot 2. Jacqueline Martinez, 6 points in this game. Martinez swishes home that first foul shot. 7 points, ties her with teammate Eleanor Yu for the most points in this contest. Martinez missing on the second opportunity. Goes out of bounds. They're going to say last touch off of Mahwah. So possession here for Fort Lee with under 20 seconds left to go in the game. Mark dumping it down low. Blocked shot out of bounds. Jenin Hassan has also checked into the game, number 15 in black. And Paula Pestic as well has come in. And the final horn will sound. And Mahwah exacts revenge after losing at home a season ago. This time they come on the road and defeat Fort Lee by a final score of 45-22. Mahwah will improve to 3-0 on the season, as Fort Lee will fall to 0-3. And a reminder that Fort Lee will next be in action on the road at Riverdale on December 21st, while Mahwah will head home to host Ridgefield Park. So thank you again to our proud sponsors of Bridgman Athletics here on our broadcasts. The law offices of Deborah L. Pico, Sedona Tap House, The Finest Construction, and Fort Lee SC. So for our camera operator, Renee Matisich, and our producer, Dimitri Nanis, I'm Dan Long saying so long from East Gymnasium. We'll see you next time here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Take care, everybody.